Hi, this is Lisa Colton with my submission to the Jewish Futures Contest. I want to talk today not just about technology, but about the changes that technology is supporting in culture, in our society, and in the Jewish community. Whereas the printing press catalyzed a revolution over hundreds of years in society, religion, economy, politics. The internet today is catalyzing an analogous communications revolution that is having tremendous change in our society that obviously affects the Jewish community and Jewish education as well. One of the things that I think really is important for Jewish education is to recognize that we are working in a customer driven economy, and that we need to understand what the people we're trying to engage and serve really want and need for themselves and for their families. I find that in Jewish education, we rarely ask the people who we're trying to serve what they want and why. And I think that would be a valuable exercise for educators to do, to understand what parents today in their 30s and 40s and other learners throughout their lives really want for themselves and their families, and to be designing our programs around that. If we don't know what the customer wants, then it's hard to be delivering a fantastic product that serves their needs and those of the community as well. I think in the coming years, we're going to see a tremendous diversification in Jewish educational opportunities. We're already beginning to see this with programs like Kesher in Boston and Kavanah in Seattle and Yerusha in Princeton, New Jersey, where people are innovating and creating things from scratch outside of the normal structures that we see in the system. I think the patterns of participation, where you found the closest congregation of your particular denomination, and that's what you joined, and that's where you sent your kids to Hebrew school, is going to look very, very different in the coming years. And that we'll see a diversification in the specificity of programs and the types of things that each organization offers, and that the variables that help people make decisions will also look very different. I also think that the spaces where we learn and engage with community in learning are going to change, that the walls of the classrooms will come down. And by doing so, we'll be engaging whole new audience of people in all sorts of different ways. My friend Dan Feigert, for example, watches a Godcast video with his family every Friday afternoon. Together, they turn off the computer and then discuss the parasha over dinner. And this was a family that was not engaged very much with the synagogue or Jewish life or learning before. Here was an opportunity and an entrance for them into an experience that they otherwise might not have had. Finally, I think we're going to need concierge services, whether this is a person or something online, to help people go through this reflective process of what they want and why they want it, and then to find the programs and opportunities that are best aligned for their needs. And by facilitating that reflection and also the matching, I think everyone will be more successful. In conclusion, I think we're going to see rapid change. Whereas the revolutions following the printing press were 200 or 300 years, experts in this field think that the change is going to continue for another 50 years or so, or 5 to 10 years into the revolution as it is now. So we need to be positioning the field for rapid and continual change in the coming years, and to be nimble and to adapt as we need to. Netflix is a great example of this, a company that started by shipping VHS tapes. Didn't work so well. Then they started shipping DVDs, and it led to the downfall of the local video store. And now they're streaming the movies and TV shows on your computer, on your iPad, on your iPhone. It's changing the way that the content is delivered and the way that the consumer is participating and consuming that content, but we're still talking about movies and TV shows. Similarly, for Jewish education, I think our methods of delivery and the way people consume it and why they consume it, how they give us their attention in this attention economy is changing, and we need to be designing for that. Thanks, and I hope